I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Slam! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast in which we discuss and dissect and carefully examine and punch in the face the film Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor, and mumbling behind me are Mike DiMaria.
Is it careful? Are we doing it carefully? We said we're carefully discussing, or is it reckless? Or is it just?
It depends
it's not
on
careful.
You do it however you feel like you need to. I mean,
Well, I think it should be like Dragnet, where there's one real loose cannon type and one guy who plays by the rules.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. We'll do it that way. So,
Who else is on the show?
there's also a Dan Lewis. Yeah, he's here.
Got it.
And the three of us get together and we discuss each minute of Caddyshack. And today, whenever you're listening to this, we're talking about minute 14. And minute 14, do you want to know what happens in minute 14? I can give you like the beginning of the minute and the end of the minute, and then like the listeners, without having to have their VCR in their car with them while they're listening, they can know what the sort of, bookends of the minute are. Like the
Could I start out the rundown? Because I wrote it down basically in bullet points, and then maybe you could continue, Tom, and we'll try that kind of thing.
Okay.
Or unless you want to start, and then I can.
Well, I mean, are you
continue.
starting with your actual comments about the minute? Because
Mine go like this. It's simply a rundown
good.
so that the
do
the
that.
people know.
This will be great.
Okay, minute 14 starts with Danny manning the caddy station and register for Lou. He was already manning it before. Lou had asked him a couple minutes ago.
Lou Loomis.
It's continuity.
He didn't ask him a couple of movie minutes ago. He asked him a couple of Caddyshack minutes ago.
Right.
Tony D'Annunzio approaches the cage door with his caddy ticket, but Danny tells him he can't pay him, that Lou has to. Tony gives Danny $1 and asks for a Coke, which Danny opens and gives to him along with 50 cents change.
Are you going through the entire minute?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. We're trying
He tells him Lou raised the price of Coke because he's been losing at the track. D'Annunzio says he ain't paying no 50 cents for no Coke. Danny says, then you ain't getting no Coke. Take it from here, Tom.
Well, that's the minute.
No,
that's not quite the minute.
No.
You don't get no Coke. Know what I mean?
No, see, D'Annunzio goes. He does it very calm. He does it very nonchalant. He goes, oh.
It's true.
I
He
ain't
does.
paying. And then he gets loud. He goes, oh, I ain't paying no 50 cents for no Coke. And then Danny does it a little over the top. Oh, then you ain't getting no Coke. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's very smooth about it. You're right.
And then he gets all worked up.
Yeah. And then he wants to beat him up.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Then he
Tom.
starts.
And he tries to punch him through the fence, through the screen of the door, and then as Danny is taunting him. Okay, no, wait, hold that because I have a question about that later on. But then Lou, whose name I always forget, I always just call him Brian Doyle Murray.
Lou Loomis.
Lou shows up, kicks Danny out of the office, the safety of the office, so that now D'Annunzio can beat him up. And as far as we get here is that he's trying to play it cool, and he says, "Hi, guy." And that's the end of the minute. So everything you just heard is what we're going to be talking about in today's episode of the Caddyshack Minute.
There's a lot of meat there.
There is. It's a good minute. It's a good, solid, robust minute.
Oh, you don't get in a Coke.
Okay, now
You know what I mean?
I have two questions to start this off with, even though it started minutes ago. I don't. So am I the only one who doesn't understand the ticket thing and getting paid as a caddy? Like, what is the what is that? What does that ticket show?
The member had
think
to sign his card. That's his card.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easily inferred there, Tom.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm wondering is, I know there are tips involved and things like that. Are the tips
this
on
is the
top of
irony
that
of it.
completely?
The irony of this is the one of us that's from Connecticut doesn't understand how things work at a country club.
Well, I don't talk to the help or the servants or the support staff.
Again, remember too, Mike, that what he may know from living in Connecticut, he is more than offset by his lack of sports knowledge or any kind of sporting life.
That's true.
But he was being a dandy. He was still taken to the country club.
I mostly hung out at the snack bar.
It's like
So I don't know
Spalding.
how that. Exactly. I wanted a hamburger and a cheeseburger.
All right.
So Tom, let me just explain. There are these people that are like help, and they carry the bags for the hoi polloi such as yourself. And these people, they're not doing this because they want to do it. They're doing it because they get paid. They got to go back to a barn where they give a ticket to a guy, and he gives them money for that. And then with that, they buy a piece of bread and some porridge.
Yeah, like a living wage. So they get their bread and their porridge, and they come back the next day and help us some more, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's commerce. That's the world going around the sun. That's beautiful.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, let's move
Okay.
off this one.
Next question. Why does it look weird to me to write the plural of caddies with an IE? I wanted to write CADDYS. That looked right to me. But CADDIES doesn't look right. Caddies.
Okay, can I go back to this again? Again, the guy from Connecticut, which I read had the highest IQ on average of all states.
We do.
Just having trouble with the pluralization of standard words.
I
here.
understand that I'm spelling it correctly with the IE, but it just doesn't seem right to me. You know,
Yeah, I know
words you look at them,
sometimes-
they just don't hit your eyeballs right.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that effect, though, too.
Yeah.
That's happened to me with, I must admit, very simple words. But, well, what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm stopped listening to him.
Minutes ago.
Yeah, literal Caddyshack minutes ago.
Caddyshack minutes ago.
Yeah.
Last listen to
days,
Tom
months ago.
at the tail end of Caddyshack 7 when it sounded like Tom was choking and needing an ambulance. And that was the last time Mike
That's the last time I listened to him.
He was on the edge of his seat listening for the final death rattle that never came. He was so disappointed he just gave up, which I understand. Danny doesn't pay for that Coke.
I was going to say that he got a free Coke out of it because he walks out of it.
Yeah.
I wonder
But he also pays-
I wonder what D'Annunzio was expecting back. How much was a Coke prior to the 50 cents?
Yes, another very
raise?
good question.
Was that
How
thinking,
big of
was
a
it
raise?
quarter? Was it a 100% increase?
You know what's interesting? I've always assumed that it used to be 25 cents, but there's nothing to.
It could have been
It
45
could have been.
cents.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, exactly. It
D'Annunzio
have
could
been
have making
45.
all this hubbub over 5 cents.
You're
Also-
yeah.
It seems weird that they're buying it through the office. Like, isn't there like a Coke machine around or something? Or it's weird that one of the services of like Lou's office is to sell the caddies Cokes.
Yeah.
Well, just a rough search here of the price of Coke in the 70s, 35 to 45 cents, in the 80s, 50 to 75 cents. One can kind of read between the lines there to think it was probably about 40 cents. Maybe he raised it 10 cents, which is, that's a 25% hike.
That was a nice use of the internet, Dan. That was good.
I was just looking at my Coke futures, and turns out I've made a
skyrocketing.
lot of money over the last 115 years.
Hold on to that.
I'm gonna
Stop losing at the track.
Yeah. If that recipe gets out, I'm screwed, though. That's a very interesting question. I never thought about what the Coke was before. I just sort of thought, oh, it went up. I didn't even think about it. You guys are more inquisitive than I am. I just thought, whatever.
Yeah.
That's good, though.
And D'Annunzio is so mad at Danny for it. It's like Danny had nothing to do with how much the
Well,
Coke
that's
cost.
Danny was being a little bit of a prick about it, though, too.
As
He is.
usual.
Well, he could have just let him say, then I ain't paying 50 cents for the Coke. He said, okay, well, we'll bring it up with Lou. He decided to escalate it. And he went,
Yeah, already
watch
over
it,
it.
jerk.
That's a
That's
jerk.
that's it.
Okay, no, wait. You're both saying that as though you know what he's saying, and each time you say it, I can't hear what you're saying, and I can't hear what he's saying in the movie. What does he say before jerk?
I've never totally known what he's
Oh, so what are you saying right now?
I said, watch it,
Watch
jerk.
it.
That's kind of what I wrote down like as a question. Is that what he's saying? I don't know.
No, because it's a bad audio.
But if we were good podcasters, we would have looked this up already, and we'd have the answer to because everyone listening is like, oh, this is minute 14. They're going to tell us. Finally, I'll know what he says.
But sometimes it's more interesting just to talk about maybe what he might have said and about how the movie has terrible sound,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is in a way more informative than having all these answers, spoon feeding them to everybody. Do your own work.
Yeah.
It's love of learning, which is what we're teaching here, not just the facts.
Dan just showed all of you what you can do with the internet. He found out what a Coke cost in 1979 and in 1980. So let your fingers do the walking and find out for yourself, and then please let us know. Go to whatever Facebook page.
But your fingers do the walking. You mentioned that you bring up the internet and then you make a reference to the phone book.
Well, your fingers are walking across the keyboard.
Yeah, like
of
you
your
used to
computer
flip the
or your
pages. So
phone.
remember, let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages?
Of course. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like saying, look at this newfangled technology. Now get out your hard dictionary.
Right.
Okay. You know what that's
sorry.
like? That's like having Scott Baio speak at your presidential convention.
Yeah.
I saw that headline and I didn't know if that was a joke or not.
Yeah, so today's the day of the first day of the Republican National Convention.
We're dating the podcast.
Yeah,
Scott.
we are dating it right now.
Yeah.
How much work these guys put into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been working on for months
Well, get
before they even
over it.
aired.
Let me tell you something. If so, Trump could win the presidency, which means he's one heart attack away from Pence being in charge. And if Pence goes, guess what? Charles in charge, folks.
And
Please, any of you listening out there in the future from us, if you already know the outcome of the presidential race, please let us know either through email or Facebook, and because I'm nervous about it.
Yeah, if you may have crawled across a post-nuclear apocalypse hellscape to find one microchip with this podcast on it, and if you do find it, please tell us, go back in time and vote the other way.
With all the plutonium just hanging in the air, you should be able to fashion a time machine and just come back and let us know.
Right.
Thank you.
But I was listening to NPR's coverage on the way to home, and they were going over the star-studded speakers, and one of the reporters, I think, was a millennial, and they said Scott Baio.
That's great.
So that's Scott Baio. Chachi.
Scott Baio.
Yeah,
You
Chachai.
got Chachi up there telling you how Donald Trump's going to keep you safe. All right, let's get back to the minute.
Johnny loves Chachai. Okay,
yeah.
yes.
So what jerk? Well, somebody has to take the Coke because he opened it already, and those were the days where, once you open that Coke, for those of you,
A Coke.
yeah, you don't get a no Coke. Then somebody's going to get some Coke.
Yeah. Well, they still have those glass bottles. Any glass bottle, I guess that's the case.
That's
Once
true.
it's open, it's open.
Yeah.
Am I an old man that I'm like, boy, he's hot and sweaty and tired. Why is he going to drink a Coke?
Sounds
Just
delicious.
sweet and syrupy, and it'll be refreshing for a second, but then he's going to be like, can I please have a glass of water?
He's also a teenager.
He is.
He strikes me as being about 18 years old. I don't know, maybe, but back in those days, I think I could have an ice cold Coke after a round of golf.
And he just
I'm sure I
he
would,
came in
too.
all exhausted. He says, had caddied for the Havocamps.
Of course.
Yeah, it's
and they
tiring.
didn't die on him.
Right. I love Lou Loomis's shirt and hat. It's such a great combo there. There's a can of Coke sitting right next to the thing. I don't know why he just doesn't take that Coke.
Yeah, that suggests to me that there's a machine around the corner or something.
Yeah. But maybe the machine is a little bit more. Maybe the machine is 60 cents. And Lou, trying to make a little extra money for gambling, sells Cokes out of the caddy office.
Could be.
It's like commissary.
Yeah.
Maybe the machine has been 50 cents all along, and D'Annunzio's been, there's no way ever from man or machine I am paying 50 cents for no Coke.
Right.
And he's just reiterating that now that he seems to have no choice but to pay 50 cents for a Coke.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first interaction between these two, correct? It's the first time that Danny and D'Annunzio interact with each other.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Holy smokes, yeah.
Yeah, so he comes in, so you think right off the bat, okay, they're just, colleagues. But then you see that they have a history of some sort. Mm-hmm. Because it's,
They've never liked each other.
and it escalates
It's
pretty
very
quickly.
contentious.
Yeah, and this takes us back. I believe this is a veiled reference to the Ireland-Italy wars of the 13th, 14th, and 17th centuries.
It's a little obvious to say, but, it's probably the time to say it. Yeah.
I thought it's not really that important, as important as figuring out if he says, "Watch it, jerk." a piece of history that's pretty much lost.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm wondering if he says "watch it, jerk." Because why would he say "watch it"?
I don't know.
Like watch it like he's going to hurt his hand or he's going to break the door or.
I think it was a bad. I think they had to go in and do something, like do some extra overdub or something because it didn't come out clear.
Yeah, something. I think.
Yeah, but you think that'd be super clear. Like it would be like so totally fakey. Like sounds like he's in a room thousands of miles away recording a new line.
I just watched it again with a laser-like focus, and he says "watch it, jerk." I'm almost certain.
All right.
It doesn't really make any sense.
Not really. Like watch what you're doing, kind of thing. Because he's trying to shake the door open to get at him. What's interesting also about this is that like, so is he never going to see them again? Like if you piss somebody off, if you piss somebody off that badly, like they're not just going to be like, well, I'll see you later, and I'm like, kick your ass then.
Yeah, like Lou showing up now is just, speeding up the inevitable. Like this scene was going to play out no matter what.
Maybe it's like, you know how D'Annunzio is. Get him fired up right away, but later on he's a teddy bear.
Right.
Yeah. Once he's had some time to think.
Yeah.
You hope.
He's a cerebral guy. He'll work it out. He'll come to his senses.
But again, we get back. I feel like we've talked about this about 6 times, but Danny, again, is just, he's not a likable character. He's an anti-hero.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't like him yet. How about that?
I don't like him yet either. I don't know.
Maybe we'll find that this movie is filled with such jerks and ne'er-do-wells that we have no choice but to like Danny because he's the lesser of all evils.
Right.
Yeah. But they all have their dark ups and downs. They all have their dark sides and their pluses.
So far, D'Annunzio as a person, for me, rates at about a 7. And Danny rates at about 4.
Yeah, I think D'Annunzio gets a bad rap. I think.
That could be a little bit of Mike DiMaria. That could be a little bit of cultural favoritism there, Mike. I got to say, and I'm Irish.
No. I think that, and I'll talk about it in the next minute. I think he just can't get a break.
Lot you fucking know, DiMaria.
Shave your ass.
Yeah, I guess that's
another non sequitur that doesn't make any sense in a script. But we'll get to that one in that scene.
You shave your ass. That classic comeback,
But but that was never really clear in the audio as well. We'll get to that in a later minute.
And that had to have been overdubbed, that one.
No, when I was a kid and I'd see that and she was screaming at him, I thought she was saying, like, where's your savior now? Yeah, Shane, where's your savior now? But watch it again and you'll see that instead of shave, when she says shave, it sounds like savior.
Maybe you were watching the really badly edited for TV version.
Yeah, why is she? I think that's what it was.
Replaced her with Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah, Shane.
You shave your ass.
Where's your savior now, Moses?
Got it all wrapped up with little pink ribbons.
Like, why is she on that diving board proselytizing?
Cut, Edward, cut. Did you just say you shave your ass?
Yeah,
when are we ever going to use that?
Right now.
That will never be used in a movie.
We'll get to that later, though.
Danny could just give him the Coke. Once Lou goes through the door, he's got a full Coke there. He could just say, look, let's let bygones be bygones. Have a Coke. I got it for free.
Do you think that would have worked? Do you think that would have calmed D'Annunzio down? He would have accepted that?
He's ready to enjoy this thoroughly, but that's in the next minute.
Danny doesn't seem to take anything seriously.
No.
I mean, really, D'Annunzio now could have a Coke and beat up Danny at the same, almost at the same time.
No, he doesn't take anything seriously. And when we meet Maggie in future minutes, we'll understand that Danny really doesn't take anything seriously.
I give him a little slack because he's a dumb teenager.
We know that D'Annunzio is going to beat his ass, not just because of the confidence, but because his shirt has no sleeves.
Right.
And that's the universal sign of the 1980s tough guy. Mm-hmm. Kelly Leak from Bad News Bears. You got your Charlie Sheen from Major League, and you got your. I thought I had another one there, but maybe some kid from Stand By Me or something.
Yeah, but he's got slacks on though.
He does have the slacks, but they're black.
Several outsiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assorted outsiders.
Outsiders, right?
Yeah.
All of them, everyone.
Maybe I
Except
realized
for
one of them.
Socias.
Yeah. Except for the socias.
Yeah, right.
Creases are sleeveless and socias are socias.
It's no lie that we've taken a little break here. There's been a vacation. There's been summer vacations.
True.
Tom disappeared for a couple weeks.
I did.
What did you do, Tom?
I visited my hometown in Connecticut.
Oh,
where
Poloi.
Oh yeah, I dressed just like Dick Cavett the entire time. Had my little boating hat and blue blazer, and I did nothing.
Did you shake your booty down by the dock, or?
I did, but with restraint. Shaking your booty down by the dock is really more of like a hip pivot sort of thing. Like
Right.
as your feet are firmly in place, you don't want to spill your cocktail or your shrimp tartare.
Tar.
Yeah, you just dignity at all times, even when shaking your booty.
Mm-hmm. Is shrimp tartare, is that a thing?
I think I made it up just now.
Because that's a raw shrimp, bad idea, generally speaking.
Wait, is that true? There's a lot of raw shrimp in the world, isn't there? Isn't
I think you get really good stuff maybe, but I don't think you can get that, the farmed stuff from the
Ceviche.
Philippines.
Well, like when you have like a shrimp cocktail, is that cooked and then
No,
Yeah.
it's
chilled?
cooked, Tom.
It is
It's
cooked.
cooked.
Yeah.
Because when it's pink like that, Tom, it's
When
been
it's-
cooked.
Yeah. When it's
Yeah.
pink, believe me, when it's
veiny,
raw,
when
you'd
it's-
notice,
when
my
it's
friend.
raw and it's like slate color. Yeah, you are
This is explaining a lot.
I had some raw crab at a Korean place out here because they ferment it the way they do kimchi, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
a very strange experience to be eating that raw. It's very weird and good, but it's weird.
Chewy, like
It's more like mochi or something.
Weird.
Like it's got a sort of soft.
I like mochi.
It's not
Wow.
chewy.
my barf.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
you could, right. One time I got sick from food poisoning from shrimp, and they say it's one of the worst ones. And in fact, it was the only time I ever got food poisoning. And and everybody's always getting food poisoning. I can't go. I got food poisoning. I can't. But like I always said to people, where are you getting all this food poisoning? I've never had food poisoning. You just be careful. What are you doing? And then the one time I finally got it, it was as though it was like payback for all that time of not being empathetic for other people's food poisoning. Mm-hmm. And I got it one time for shrimp. And I tell you, I was sitting there at my computer, and suddenly in my head, a countdown starts.
Yeah, I told you.
That countdown
That's my
started.
line. You know what? No, that's my line. I use that one
That's a line. I've been using it for years.
because I told it to you. I said, I'm telling you right now. Because this happened years ago, and I mean years. I said it to you because it happened to me where I was out in public and it's like something hit like a bomb.
Yeah, right.
System.
Well,
The
all
lights-
right, well, I didn't credit you.
Your eyes roll back in your head and you see that digital clock red.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes. And it starts to count
15
down.
minutes. Mike, this was 8
I
seconds.
understand that. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Okay,
And you
yeah.
start saying your goodbyes and you say, I got to get in my car and I got to get home.
And you just know it too.
But Mike,
You
what's
know, like
so
your
sudden?
your body knows that there's no intervention that
No.
can happen.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Okay. And then so Mike, credit to Mike. I didn't realize I was stealing that. Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize I was stealing that from you. I was like Led Zeppelin, basically, taking that one.
You were
Not
like
according to the court.
Well, listen, Led Zeppelin there's a lot of thievery going on there.
Yeah, Jay
Point
Combs,
is,
they stole
I ran to
Dazed
the-
and Confused.
yeah, that one they stole for sure.
All right,
I ran to the bathroom, though, I have to tell you, and I had a horrible decision to make. I had a horrible, horrible choice to make.
Sophie's Choice.
It was like a Sophie's Choice, but like a bathroom version, if I might make an indelicate comparison. It was.
That'd be
It was
gross.
I said, "Do I go? Which way do I face?" And I thought, well, I can't exactly be, cleaning doo-doo off the floor. So, boom. Explosive on both ends.
Wow.
It was like a Roman candle lit on both ends.
Wow. This is
Yeah.
in a public place, or is this
Nah, I was at home.
you're
Thank
at
goodness.
home? Okay. Wow.
Thank goodness.
I've heard of people getting that, and I've never experienced that. Knock on wood. But
Yes, you have.
I think I probably would have made the same.
Yes,
Wait,
you
what?
have, Tom. Yes, you
Have I?
have. Yes, you have.
You say that so knowingly.
You were dressed as the Jolly Green Giant.
That was only One Direction though. That was bizarre. God, that was bizarre.
Oh, what happened?
Halloween.
Jody and I were getting ready for a Halloween.
I sure hope it was Halloween.
It was Easter Sunday. I was getting dressed up as the Jolly Green Giant. Jody's putting her costume together.
Such a good costume.
Cutting out
Sunday.
little felt leaves. She's Sprout. I'm the Jolly Green Giant because she is somewhat short and I'm extremely hazardously tall.
Were you wearing only a leaf to cover yourself?
I had like a felt sort of leotard sort of.
Oh, I can understand everyone else vomiting, but what happened? What about you?
I saved everyone from barfing. I'm not going to the party. No, I was getting ready. I was like, gosh, I've been eating. I still don't know what got me sick, but everything tasted like.
Was it frozen
seeds.
peas or?
No, it was. But my burps tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios, but smelled like farts. My burps.
Oh my God! So they had a different. They were different on the palate than they were the initial aroma, like a fine wine.
Whatever processing was going on in my body was like in reverse. And I sat down. I had like explosive diarrhea. I'm like, oh no, that was really gross. Well, it's out of my system. Hooray
It
for
wasn't
me.
in your leotard. Wasn't in the green leotard.
I was able to go. I was not planning on wearing any kind of pants or underpants to the party, so I was
I'm
good.
picturing you inflating like an Oompa Loompa. Like a big green Oompa Loompa.
No, so I get it all out. I get all the filthy diarrhea out of my system, and I sit down. I'm like, I'm not done. And I get up and I go sit down on the thing again. And when I tell you, people say like, oh, I had like a really watery diarrhea. It was really gross and loose. This was water, just clear water jetting out of my ass into the toilet. It was clear.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
They just forwarded his mail for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dear, I don't think we're going to make it to the party. I'm shitting water, and everything smells like Honey Nut Cheerios and farts.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Coming out my brow.
can you eat Honey Nut Cheerios now after that
I
incident?
had them this morning. I swear to God.
Are you kidding me?
I think of that with every bite. I think, remember that time? That was awful. Okay. But these are delicious.
But you have switched to Bird's Eye brands other than that.
Right.
Screw that giant logo anymore.
That asshole.
That fucking giant.
Ho, ho, ho.
You had that's how you had big Jolly Green Giant shits.
Then the next year he went as the man in the yellow hat.
That's right.
And Jody went as Curious George.
Oh, that's a good costume.
And I ate nothing but green bananas for a week before, and guess what happened?
Oh,
that's not true at all.
All right.
I made that part up.
Anyway, I haven't had food poisoning since. Knock on wood there.
Oh, good for us.
Yeah.
Look at us healthy chaps.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Do we think we're done with minute 14?
Oh, I think we're done.
Anything else we
you
need to
should
cover
tell
for
them
this minute? He says, hi, guy. And then he goes. And
That's
then,
a nice high guy.
We know what he's doing, yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what I would say at that situation. That I've been in, not like when someone's about to beat me up, but I've been confronted by bullies before, and I go into friendly mode. Or at least I did as a kid.
It's your only defense.
It is. Yeah. Right. Hello. I think I've gotten out of getting beaten up because of that, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I just I was with my friend at the Stamford Town Center in Stamford, Connecticut, and it was on the very top level of the place was nothing but hallways and like planters and stuff, like going to like the top, the outside parking on the roof, and then if you look down, you would look straight down to the middle of the thing that was all open, and right on the ground floor there was like a big sort of pit stairs thing where people are just like hanging out and whatever and stuff, and my friend and I were dropping little like mulch wood chips from the planters down onto the people, and we beamed this one guy who was clearly, I almost guarantee he didn't have any sleeves on his shirt, and he looked up and he saw us, and we're like, oop, and we like hid, and we like ran to like the nearest like Foot Locker or something. We were just kind of like hanging out, hiding, and he easily followed us, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he says, "Hey, you guys were just up there dropping stuff on us, weren't you?" And I go, "Yeah." He's like, and it completely derailed him. He was expecting me to like deny it and everything. And I could see him like just like his gears were not going the way he expected them to. And he's like, "Oh, well, don't do that anymore." And then he and his cronies left, and my buddy and I were like, we live to fight another day.
Wow, he just
Good
didn't.
for us.
He didn't expect that kind of like
No.
innocent, friendly,
Yes.
amiable. Yeah.
Bald honesty.
Gee, I wish I had the last few minutes of my life back.
I asked you if you want to be done with a minute. You just kept chatting.
No, I didn't say
All
a
right.
word.
Now we're done with the minute. This has been minute 14 of Caddyshack. Thank you for listening. Please come back next time for minute 15. Dan, Mike, and I will be back with more stories and some more of whatever happens to Danny next with D'Annunzio. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Join us again for the Caddyshack Minute.
All right.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.